All right, let's talk about something that is pretty much every homeowner's worst nightmare: water damage. We're going to break down exactly what happens when water decides to show up where it doesn't belong, and more importantly, how the pros get it back out.
Just imagine this for a second. It's 2 in the morning, you're dead asleep, and then you hear it, that faint drip, drip, drip. Or maybe it's not so faint, maybe it's a gush. It's that moment of instant panic, and what you do in the next few minutes and hours can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, this number right here. You're going to want to burn this into your memory. 48 hours. It is, without a doubt, the most important deadline you've got in a water emergency. But, why? What's so special about 2 days?
Well, that's your window. It's the ticking clock. Because after about 48 hours in a damp, humid environment, mold doesn't just show up, it starts to colonize, it puts down roots. And just like that, what was a simple water problem escalates into a major structural and health issue.
So let's really get into the nitty-gritty of this. We're calling water the silent destroyer for a reason. It's not just about a wet carpet. It's an incredibly invasive force that can literally rot your home from the inside out. Let's take a look at where it usually comes from.
And you know, the crazy thing is, it's usually the stuff you see every day that causes the most trouble. A frozen pipe that bursts, that old supply line to the toilet, a washing machine hose that finally gives up. It could be anything. The point is, water is always looking for a way in, and these things can happen to absolutely anyone.
Okay, so that's the problem. But what about the solution? When disaster strikes, that initial moment is pure chaos. But the pros? They bring order to that chaos. And it all starts with one thing: speed.
Think about that. Less than 90 minutes. That's often the goal for a professional crew to be at your door after you make that panicked call. They know that every single minute they save is potentially thousands of dollars of damage prevented. Now, this is a super important point and one that trips a lot of people up. Mitigation versus restoration. Think of it like this. Mitigation is the emergency room. It's the first aid. The goal is to stop the bleeding, get the water out, stabilize everything, and prevent more damage. Restoration? That's the long-term recovery. That's the rebuilding that makes your house a home again.
So you see, it's not just a bunch of people showing up with shop vacs. It's a precise, step-by-step plan. You talk to an expert right away. They show up, assess the danger, and immediately start pulling out massive amounts of water. And crucially, they start documenting everything for your insurance claim from minute one.
All right, so the standing water's gone. You'd think the worst is over, right? Well, not even close. Now the real fight begins, because the most dangerous water is the water you can't see.
This quote really says it all. It's not about what you can see or feel. It's about what's hiding deep inside your walls, under your floors, soaked into the wood frame of your house. And to find it, you need some serious tech. And to find that hidden water, they bring out the big guns. This isn't your average toolbox. We're talking thermal cameras that see temperature changes caused by moisture, specialized meters that can tell you exactly how saturated a piece of wood is, and this whole army of air movers and dehumidifiers that do the heavy lifting.
Now, here's the real secret weapon, the magic behind the whole operation. It's a science called psychrometry. Sounds fancy, right? But what it really means is they're manipulating the air itself. They turn the air in your home into a giant sponge, carefully controlling the temperature and humidity to convince those wet materials to let go of their moisture. It's pure science.
And this is a marathon, not a sprint. As you can see, it's a process. It takes a few days, sometimes more. The crew is there every single day, taking measurements, adjusting the equipment. They aren't just guessing when it's dry. They have a target, something called a dry standard, which is a scientifically proven moisture level that tells them the structure is officially safe and dry.
Okay, so the structure is finally verifiably dry. Now what? Well, now it's time to shift gears from drawing to rebuilding. It's time to put your home back together.
And how they rebuild depends entirely on, well, how dirty the water was. And believe me, this isn't just about looks, it's about health and safety. Category 1 water from a broken pipe is one thing, but Category 3 water from a sewage backup, that's a biohazard. Anything porous it touches, drywall, carpet, insulation, it has to be removed and disposed of. No exceptions.
So then comes the part where it all starts to look like a home again. The road to recovery is basically a full-on construction project. We're talking new drywall, new floors, painting, putting cabinets back in, all while coordinating with the insurance company. The end goal is simple: to make it look like it never, ever happened.
All right, we've been through the disaster and the recovery.
But now we're at what is, hands down, the most important part of this whole conversation, preventing it from happening in the first place.
And the good news is, you're not powerless here. These are simple, actionable things you can do right now. Seriously, do you know where your main water shutoff valve is? Could you turn it off in a panic? Just knowing that one thing can be the difference between a small mess and a total catastrophe.
So that leaves us with one final, pretty important question. Once the trucks are gone and your house is back to normal, the emergency is over. But is it really? Your home is dry now, sure, but is it prepared for the next time? Because being prepared is the only way to really win this fight.